Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to say, but this brother is with me one more time,
Yes,
and that is the one and only Bebe Winans. How you doing, man?
I'm doing spectacular, to be perfectly honest. And that's not just a answer expected, but it's the truth.
Yes, sir. In times like this, oh
Hey,
my God,
hey. Um,
I'm gonna say something. I had your sister on yesterday, and I was
okay.
just talking to her, and I said, "Cece, I know why we have the C-size batteries now, because you are the energizer. Your sister is doing hymns, having a conference, going on tour." I said she done put Eveready and Energizer out of business.
I don't know who she is. I told her she's on an eternal tour.
Yeah. And you know what, BB? I'm going to show you my little setup here. I got my Techniques turntable over there,
Uh-huh.
and I got
Uh,
all the classics, and I got albums. But
Vinyl.
yeah, vinyl. Thank you. But do you know what my first vinyl album was in that collection? It
Are
was
you?
it was you and your sister with Heaven,
Oh my.
and hold
Oh
and
my.
and hold up the light.
Yes.
I
You
gotta
know,
I gotta find it. Somebody help me. I need that.
ev- every now and then, a good friend of mine named Louis Vega, he has all the vinyls and everything. And so he sent me the first album in CC did,
Mhm.
self-entitled BB and CC, so I Owe You Me and
Yeah.
songs like that. Man, it's like we're kind of old.
Well, let's just say that you're blessed. And the reason why I say that is because last year the Stellars got it right. They always get it right, but they really got it right. Why? Because they asked both of you guys, the host, the Stellars in Nashville. And the first question is, sis, how many times are you going to change so I know what I need to do? Is that right, BB?
You remember that. And it wasn't like I wasn't gonna be ready. It was like, hey, I'm gonna be ready. You know, no matter what color you throw at me. And it was absolutely a wonderful time for us. And it's amazing how, when you do something like that and you come together, especially for us, it's like, wow, it's like I remember this happening, but man, I got to remind myself. It feels like I've lived about four different lives, right?
Mhm.
Especially when it comes to Cece and I, because you have to bring in focus Jim Baker and Tammy Faye. A lot of people don't know who that is.
Yeah, I know. I know. I used to work at the TV station,
You hear what I'm saying?
and it was early in the morning that was Jim and Tammy came on.
And that's why BB and CC became a duo. It's the place where that happened. So when we come together, we have a wonderful time because we can look back and see, boy, God has been faithful.
How's mom doing, Miss Dolores?
She is doing wonderful. She got, she'll be 90. We're preparing. Talked to Cece earlier, my brother Marvin. We're getting ready to prepare for her 90th birthday, right? Which is in September. And so they asked the question, where should we have it? And I answered, I said Vegas.
Why'd you say Vegas, BB?
Just because I knew CCM, I was gonna say, what? You crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm playing. Mama wouldn't go to Vegas if I paid her. So
Now we got to talk about this because, see, you and I grew up in a time period where we had the black and white TV in the house,
uh-huh,
and it
uh-huh.
wasn't it wasn't never always on. If it was on, they were supervising what we watched. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
And
exactly.
you only had just a few channels.
Four, about 4 or 6.
And it went off in the 70s. It went off at 10:30 or 11,
Uh-huh.
and
You
that
heard
was it.
me. That meant you going to bed. But we went to bed way before then.
Yeah.
Especially on a weekend. I mean, a
Yeah.
weekday, a weekend, maybe a little bit longer. But seriously, um, it's it's hard for me to really answer the question, where would I be if I didn't have the foundation
Hmm.
that our parents gave us? I am so grateful for my mom. She's here in Nashville now, and we put her up in her own apartment,
Hmm.
and she's having a ball because she said, "I don't want to live with nobody."
I know that's right. You know, and my prayers are going out to you. See, when you guys make a decision for your 90th birthday for your mother, then you got to deal with Carvin and you got to deal with Marvin. And you guys
Yeah,
got to
a
decide, well,
certain degree, to a certain degree, at least invite them.
yeah, make them feel good to be a part of it. You know what I
At least invite them, but the heavy lifting is gonna be on me. It's gonna be on me, and it's gonna be on me.
mean? And you know what? If I had a sister like you did, because you still have Angie and Debbie too, so we don't
Uh-huh.
leave them out too, because they the babies. But Cece more than likely will get her way on this situation.
No.
And you gonna take over?
Yeah, but as you just said, Cece's too busy to even think about.
Oh yeah,
Are you
guys
kidding?
are bad.
She's not that person. She is
Yeah,
not. Now she'll show up, but she
yeah.
ain't that person to put. She ain't never been that person to
Wow,
put these together. So
wow.
it's been a wonderful thing to see her in her solo career and everything. But she turns around and laughs and says, "I'm tired."
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, because everything is on you.
Yeah,
So it's God has been faithful. He really has, and there's so much more um, that He's calling us to do.
yes. Well, I want to talk about this new song. It's entitled All Today. We started playing it. It's a powerful, reflecting offering. Tell us,
Mm.
what is this? Why did you pick the title All Today? First of all.
Hey, it's just it wrote itself as I continue to live this journey, and you come to the point where you realize, Lord, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't have the blessings I have if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't have my health if it wasn't for you. So I really understand at this point in my life that I owe you everything.
Mm-hmm.
I owe you everything. And it's an honor to give you honor. It's an honor to give you glory. And so that's where the song is birthed from. And loving hymns, in our generation, being raised on hymns, I loved that we framed it in that kind of package. So it could be a hymn to this generation and the generation to come that they lean on for strength, that really takes your attention off the craziness, slows you down, and lyrically leads you through this storm.
Wow, amazing on that. So, as this song, was it really easy to write, to put together? And what's the difference between this song, because you did Father in Heaven, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
What's the difference on this one?
Well, this one is the more of the structure. And I had a little help. I sent the song out to my brother Marvin, and it's wonderful that I have these people to lean on. I sent it to Donald Lawrence, and they knew what I was reaching for. And then a great friend of mine named Ren Troy, I sent him the lyrics I had, and he has a vocabulary that is so big, Ren. And so at one point I said, I got this word here, but I need a better word to explain the piece that I have. And he said, give me a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he called me back and said, impervious.
Impervious.
Impervious
What does that
piece.
mean? Oh,
Oh, that's what I said. I was like, and so I went to Webster and I said, oh, that's why I called him impervious piece.
mm-hmm.
Deem to me.
Mm-hmm.
All I am, give all to thee. Impervious means cannot be penetrated.
I got you. So, what's been the feedback from your listeners when they hear the song All Today?
They they ask, some of them ask the question, where's this hymn you digged up from? Like, they think it's been written 100 years ago. But that's what I wanted. That's what I was going after. Um, and it brings peace, especially to the craziest things we're going through, the storms that we're going through in this world. And so that's what I love. It brings impervious peace to the listener.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us, we're talking with the one and only Bebe Winans. And Bebe, do you ever have people say that your music really touched them? That do you ever get reports say, I got to play this at my homegoing celebration? You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yes. Oh yes. And sometimes I think people are reluctant to say some things. Whether your song are you I mean the other week or two I was in St. Louis in concert, and I asked the question because I kind of knew the answer because a lot of people have come to me and said, I got married to I found love. And so, oh, thank you. A friend of mine who used to take pictures for weddings and videos, he would call me maybe twice a week saying, "So sick of your song."
Why did he say that?
Because he said everywhere you went, every wedding, it was being sung. And so 2 weeks ago at a concert, I said, I'm about to sing a song. How many of you got married? Raise your hands if you got married to I Found Love. And so many people in the audience raised their hands. I said, boy, all y'all owe me some money.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna help you make some money right now. Now I told your sister about the battery deal. So we're
Uh-huh.
gonna give you the Kleenex tissue deal. Okay.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
That's what my request is. They put your picture on the box. And when they play the song When You Pray, that's a song.
Yeah.
And the one that that song, I love that song When You Play and When You Pray. And then also there's other songs too. They need to just have a box of tissue, like when you go into church, the ushers
Uh-huh.
are working,
Just
just because you know Love Said Not So is my ultimate favorite one, BB. So
thank you, sir. Well, you know what I think, and the way I feel is I've been honored to write about my life. My life is a life of tears, it's a life of laughter, it's a life of loss, and a life of gain. And so, one of the things I always believed is you have to be brave to write about your life. Because if you write about your life, it can't be just sunshine, it has to be rain. It can't be just good, it has to be bad. It has to be those things that all of us experience. And so, it's not the easiest thing. And so, again, at this concert, I said, now, before you cry, I cried.
I know you just cried out, BB. Just cried.
Yeah, because it's my life. It's my blueprint of my life.
Now, how can people get the song and download all today, BB?
All to the it's on all platforms with Apple and various other platforms that are out there, and excited about some of the things. Not some of the things. Well, I say some of the things because it causes me to go on planes. And like in a week, next week, I'm going to Madrid. And I love everything about Spain and being overseas. I'm overseas more than home. Um, but the plane ride, that's when I have to say, Lord, are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to go, I'll go. But that's 14 hours, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, there's one place I've been invited to go because my son lives in Seoul, South Korea. And
Oh man. Have you ever gone?
no, I got a ticket waiting on me, but I know when I go.
You have to go. Okay, so my guys live there,
Yeah,
but
Korea's cool.
right. So it was never in my bucket list, on my bucket list to go to Seoul. It was never. And so I had in the back of my head what I thought Seoul was going to be, and a it's such a beautiful place. Absolutely stunning. So you get that ticket and you go visit.
Well, you're not gonna believe this. I've already started learning how to speak Korean,
Ah,
which is Mandarin or whatever the language is. I don't want to mess
right.
it up because me and my son is going on. You can go online on Chat GPT and type in the words, or they got Babel and you hear the pronunciation, and he's sitting up there taking my picture. He said, Dad, I could have made some money off of your video trying to get, I had to write it down on a piece of paper. I got a little post-it up here. And I said, Elhan Haseo.
Haseo. Haseo. It's really an interesting language, and because there's so many different dialects, we were at Korean show was in town, and at my church at a certain time they have a Chinese congregation in service, and so before the church started, we went in. I went in there. I said, y'all can understand this, right? And they said no. I said it sounds just like y'all. But totally different dialect. So it's a wonderful, wonderful place. So you let me know when you go and
Okay, I'm
tell
going to
me about
consider
your
it. I got to,
experience.
and when I go, I need to be gone. I think at least 2 weeks or a week or so, at least easily 10 days,
At
easily,
least 10 days.
at least
Yes.
10 days. Okay. I'll close out. So as we close out, do you ever one time wonder sometime how can God take a young man who grew up in the motor city of Detroit and take you all around the world up under your late pops, David Winans, and look at what you've done now, BB, as we close out. Can you
It,
say something on that, please?
it is still amazing when I look back on what God has done. But what I know for sure is that he has no respect to persons. And all you need, to people who desire to serve God in various ways, all you need is to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's happened to me is because I told God yes.
Wow.
Just that simple.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with the legendary, the Grammy Award winning, the one and only Bebe Winans. His brand new song is entitled All Today. Make sure you get a copy and pick it up today. And Bebe, thank you for being my guest here on the Cedric Bailey Radio Show.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
All
And
right.
how do you say goodbye in Korean?
Oh man, now you're gonna make me get my notes. Anhan, Elan, Elan, Anhan Haseo. Is that right? Is that right, man?
It's close. It's close.
Well, how do you say